The black man has been brainwashed, and it's time for him to learn something about himself.
I believe in my term or my definition of segregation, and that is a segregation is a person that loves his race enough or other races enough, has enough of racial pride and integrity to want to preserve them. And I think a racist is one that doesn't care enough for his race or another race to where don't care whether they're amalgamated or destroyed or not.
And every day you got a headache with this Negro that has been brainwashed by your kind. So now it's our job to re-brainwash him, to teach him that rich dirt is black dirt. Don't feel bad.
Mr. Governor, question.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the black Muslims in this country?
Not too familiar with them, no.
Well, they practice black separatism.
Well, that's the reason I'm not familiar with them.
Good answer. Very good answer. That's all the same.
And every time the black car stops first and the white car keeps going. So this brainwashes the Negro.
You know, they believe that white people should be separate. They believe that they should have a state in this country. I think they felt that Mississippi or Georgia should be, one of those two states should be the state. Do you feel like this
I was thinking maybe they ought to make it New York.
New York, you think so? All right, I'm gonna get over that, Governor. You look too tough.
See, then he goes to the drugstore. He orders 2 dips ice cream. He said, I want a dip of chocolate, dip of vanilla. And every time they put the chocolate on the bottom and the vanilla on the top.
Life, unless you do it with another race, and this teaches inferiority to me.
As
and
governor,
it's wrong, and it's criminal, and it's cruel to teach any one person that he is inferior to another race or his race is inferior.
But as governor of the state of Georgia, did you go by the laws of God or by the laws of the state?
I go by the laws of God and by the laws of the state.
As you see fit.
When the so-called Negro, the way the educational system has been outlined, he's been brainwashed. He needs to learn something about black. So when he goes to the grocery store, he goes get cake. He sees the angel food cake is the white cake, and the devil food cake is the chocolate cake.
Forced segregation or forced integration, racial integration or forced racial segregation, they're both morally wrong, cruel, and they're in violation of the United States Constitution, which is the law of the land, not the Supreme Court ruling that denies the Constitution.
When you look at television, you see White House cigars, white swan soap, king white soap, white rain hair rinse.
Oh, yes, sir. I think racial prejudice is wrong. Yes.
White tornado floor wax, white plus toothpaste. They taught him when he was a little boy that Mary had little and his feet as white as snow. Then they taught him about Snow White.
Our government's probably practicing more prejudice today than ever practiced in all the land so far as between the black and whites.
Everything bad is black, so he's been brainwashed. So now he needs to be taught something about himself.
But black people always felt that Atlanta was the model city of the South because of its integration and because of the participation in economics of black people.
So he can be proud and quit worrying you and pushing you out of your neighborhoods, quit running your daughter, and quit chasing you out of your schools.
And your statement on the day of the fight was something like this, that it's a dark day in Georgia because this fight is being put on. Now, the law of the land said that a man can participate in his particular profession unless he is in jail. I felt very happy that this fight took place in Atlanta. How did you feel about it?
I felt very sad.
Strong coffee is black coffee. You understand? You make your wheat integrated.
And why was that?
Here's a man that has said, well, here I want to fight in the ring for money, but I won't even wear the uniform of my country. He says that I can't do this, but in other words, I'm going to act different from these other people who stand up for their country and put on the uniform. Had they not fought for this country, if they were not even fighting today and wearing this uniform, that he could not even get in a ring and fight and be a free man.
So now he feels proud. Now he's not begging no more. Now he wants to be himself. He's not worrying you no more. So he needs some black history and he needs some black culture. So he'll know who he is and be proud to be who he is and quit worrying you so much.
I don't like it. I don't care whether you like it. Don't care who don't like it.
I did serve my time, which, of course, I was a little before Muhammad Ali. You why?
Huh?
I'll tell you why.
How come you don't do it for everybody? How come you always black people? You talk about all people.
Can I give you an answer?
I think we understand the question.
Yeah.
Can I give you an answer? Do you mind?
Oh, go ahead. If you're ready, I'll give you time.
Okay, Governor.
Well, I have to remember that the black people had gone through 200 years of slavery and 100 years of oppression following the Civil War. And the relationship between black people and the police is very special because black people saw the police, and to this day, many of them see the police as the oppressors, as the enforcers of the white man's law. And yet, in places like Harlem, and I'm sure in other cities, where there was some black police officers and there was an accepted way of life. And incidentally, there was black middle class in many of those places today, which we don't have, unfortunately. And that's a reason for some of the deterioration in our inner cities now, that because black middle class people have been able to move to the suburbs, leadership people aren't there. But back then, there was great tension. And now a Supreme Court decision saying it's changing. You're going to be a full American. And leaders rising like Martin Luther King and others saying freedom. And now people wanted to get on with it. But the police were the ones who were saying, tomorrow, yes, everything can't change overnight. That was their job. They were. And whatever the elected officials decided, whatever the school principal decided, whatever an employer decided, whatever a union decided, if that generated protest or attention, who had to be there in the middle? The police. And there came a time in the 60s when police officers became very frustrated with this. Day after day, we're out there. People are blocking highways, blocking the traffic to protest something or another. And people are picketing in front of an office building. Some company official is calling and screaming, "Get them out of here, lock them up." And you're in the middle. People had a right to protest, a right to free speech. There were rules. You couldn't lock them all up. But many of these powerful people had their way until now. And as things began to change, the police were there to maintain order. We were right.
What is good, my people? We are live. Back again with another live show on the forecast. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. I don't know how long we're going to be on here. And I came on here because I haven't did any lives on here or the Fanbase app for a while. So, yo, what up, Rasheed Holmes, my brother? And I'm coming on here, to get, as many people as I can to come on the Fanbase app. We was on there last night, I think we was on there till 3 a.m, having a crazy conversation. It was a good conversation, but it's a really good app, And so, I come on here definitely to shout out Raw and everybody who come on here, Dwayne, but everybody who can, make sure y'all get the Fanbase app, go download it so you can definitely be in on the conversations, at least while it's on the ground floor, So, anybody who want to be a part of that too, My thing on there is the forecast or whatever. And I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody who want to come on. Y'all can come on real quick. But, of course, when I come on, I got to show y'all a couple of things, So, hold on one second. All right, my bad. Now, like I said, I appreciate all of y'all for coming on, watching the live premiere, and I guess I would have set up something more structural, if that's a word, today, but you know, I ain't really have time, so I did this kind of quick. So I'm gonna do a couple screen shares because I don't know if somebody gonna make a fan base room tonight or what. So you know what I'm saying. So, you know, I don't plan on being on here too long, but I did want to show a couple of screen shares. Now, usually I go through all of this stuff and, you know, I do research, but like I said, I ain't really have time. So some of this stuff I didn't even watch all the way through. Some of it I did see, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to get y'all opinion on at least some stuff. So while we on here, so anybody who want to come on and share your opinion. But you know, the first thing, you know, I don't know how many of y'all seen what happened with the Mike Tyson thing, how he had to knock out a white boy on the airplane, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, you know, even at 60 some years old, you know what I'm saying, he's still Mike Tyson. But the energy they got, they don't hesitate to try you because they got this, you know what I'm saying, air of quote unquote superiority that they feel like they have. Because I try to tell you, even the most liberal person who doesn't like to see police brutality and doesn't agree with the quote unquote racism does not want to see their safety net taken away from them. Right? You have no friends at the end of the day. Not saying he's one of them or not, but you know, it's really no different. But for any of you who haven't seen the video, and like I said, like some of this stuff I'm reacting to for the first time. I've seen this, but you know, anybody who want to come on and share your opinion. But let me go ahead and do the screen share. And I can't see if you come on, so let me go ahead and get into the first one. Yeah, this is the actual video of what happened.
This is George talking to Mike Tyson, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Mike Tyson. My dog done got lit, man. He over here rapping with Tyson. Mike Tyson trying to give us some shrooms. He don't know how to act. Tyson looking out, man. That shit crazy. Should have never gave you his money.
Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man.
Now y'all notice that every time is them getting beat up is hey now let's dude was harassing them all this time.
His money.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man.
JetBlue mid flight. My boy just got beat up by Mike Tyson. Turn that way. Yeah, he got up. Trying to ask for an autograph, man. I don't know what happened.
And he loving it though. That's the thing. I want you to see how much he loving it. And I haven't even watched the comments, but I want to see the comments. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, "Good job, Mike." Of course. Okay, so there are a lot of people on Mike Tyson's side. You know what I'm saying? Okay. They said there's a lesson. All right. Okay, so everybody on Mike Tyson's side on this one, but I'm gonna show y'all this dude. I'm gonna show y'all this video. And
so now we have some information.
Make the white boy's side of the story because I want y'all to hear what they say.
Information about the I'm gonna do quotes here. Victim. We have learned the man's name is Melvin Townsend III. He is a 36-year-old man. Now, this might matter to you, Mojo. It might not. But this guy does have a pretty extensive criminal history. Actually, had two different stints where he was behind bars. One time did actually 20 months. Another stint in prison, he did 15 months. Everything from fraud to burglary to possession of a controlled substance. So look, that doesn't mean he can't be the victim of a crime. Definitely not. But it does go to show that this guy has had some trouble in the past. Now, the part that might send a little bit of fear through Mike Tyson and through his reps It was the fact that this guy has now lawyered up Mojo. So Melvin has hired an attorney, and while they sent us a statement and they were honest in saying, we don't know if we're going to sue yet. Still up in the air. The attorney told us that his client, that Melvin, is still very shaken up by what happened. They did provide a statement, though. Here's their version of what happened. Remember, Mike said a water bottle was thrown at him and then the fight kicked off after this guy was harassing him. Our client is a big Mike Tyson fan. When Mike Tyson first boarded the plane, he became overly excited. At first, their interaction was cordial. At a certain point, Mr. Tyson clearly became agitated by an overly excited fan and began to strike him in an excessive manner. This situation could have been avoided simply by contacting the flight attendant. Our client denies throwing a water bottle prior to being struck by Mr. Tyson. State the obvious, as one of the greatest fighters of all time, Mr. Tyson should have exercised greater restraint before using his hands on an overly excited fan. So they are admitting that he was overexcited, he was over the top, but they do deny the water bottle being thrown, which in my mind is pretty significant here because I think the water bottle took it from a situation where we're just talking about someone who was verbally annoying to somebody who was physically assaulting somebody. Yes, not with their hands, but with an object.
Absolutely. That's got to be the X factor in this equation. Like you said, it goes from words to physical action, in which case you might be entitled to defending yourself physically because, you know, the interaction began physically on the other guy's end. So, as far as your earlier point about does it change my opinion? Yeah. Of course it does. If this guy has a criminal past with multiple fraud charges, I mean, I don't know. Look, this guy looks like a fraud to me when I'm examining his face and his body language following and preceding the Mike Tyson incident. I mean, the guy was clearly instigating.
And by the way, they sound like frauds themselves, but they right about that. Look at this fraud right here. But yeah.
And afterwards, he's right there. He's like playing to the camera. But like you said, they got Matt Morgan of the case. Morgan and Morgan. You see the billboards everywhere. Shout out to my homie Dan Morgan right here in Orlando, Florida. This is concerning for Mr. Tyson. They went out and they got the most popular law firm in the country. So they bring up a good point with what they said about, you know, yeah, it's an overly zealous fan. Maybe you should contact the flight attendant rather than throwing hands and handling it yourself. So curious to see how this one plays out in court. A lot of factors going on. Again, we can't wait to see where this water bottle ties into this situation, but guess we'll have to stay tuned.
It's going to be interesting.
All right. That's enough of these douchebags right here. Jose says small hat lawyers. I call them shysters, Jose. That's an appropriate term. I looked it up. I like the term shyster. Small hat is cool. Kike is cool. What's up, Erica? How you doing? And yo, definitely make sure y'all go when y'all get the Fanbase app, you know what I'm saying? Follow Erica. All of her rooms been dope so far, you know what I'm saying? Erica's the truth. And make sure y'all follow Rashid, my brother Bakari, you know, CJ, Guy, everybody, you know. And make sure y'all get that Fanbase app though. Yo, what up, Edward Thompson? Much respect, my brother. Yeah, man, I've been here, you know what I'm saying? Well, I've been off like the last week or so, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it take energy doing this kind of stuff because that's my spooked out thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in energy, and a lot of this energy with this stuff is not good energy, you know? And sometimes you just need to chill, seeing the same kind of stuff over and over. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, with this whole Mike Tyson thing, you know, this dude had got on the plane and his whiteness felt like, yo, I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? You owe. Yeah, exactly, Erica. Exactly. So yeah, that's why. And we've been doing a lot more. We've been on Fanbase a lot more than we've been on here. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna end up going out of business due to Fanbase, and when my brother Ben Uko get his website up, you know what I'm saying, Zone 103, make sure y'all pay attention to that. When that get up, this platform is gonna get shut down probably anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we boycotting, it's just that we supporting our own. But I'm also on the censorship tip too, you know. But anyway, you know, this white boy got on the airplane, and in his whiteness, he felt like Mike Tyson owed him something when this brother was just minding his own business. You know what I'm saying? Now, Mike Tyson, we know ever since I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you don't mess with Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knock you out. Like Mike Tyson is in all the raps, you know. We understand who Mike Tyson is, but he had the audacity, right, to feel like his whiteness trumps Mike Tyson. But that's the thing about Mike Tyson. He's different from a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us will talk tough, but not take the actions. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Mike Tyson is real about who he is. I support Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I stand with Mike Tyson all day. And now this white boy is trying to sue him, right? Because he got what he wanted. That's really what they want. When you knock them out, it's almost like a proud thing that they get. It's a masochist kind of thing. It's like they get off on it. And then they could be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to the police. I'm pressing charges. And when you show the utmost restraint, that's why they get on the phone talking about, oh, yeah, well, this person is approaching me. This person is doing this and doing that. But when you look at Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Like Erica said, I stand with Mike Tyson all day, every day. And maybe a lot more of us should have that Mike Tyson attitude, you know what I'm saying? A lot more of that Mike Tyson energy when it come out here, you know what I'm saying? It is, Erica. They get off on that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why, and that's why I pointed it out. If you notice, right, all the time they can harass you for 45 minutes straight, and the second that you react and put hands on them, now people are saying, "Whoa, hold on, Mike Tyson, don't knock him out." I know you're known for knocking people out, and he's been harassing you for this whole time, and actually threw a water bottle on you, and we haven't said nothing up until now, but now that you're putting hands on them, whoa, hold on, Mike Tyson. See, that's a part of being on code. That it might fly over a lot of people's heads. And that's the thing that I try to point out for you, because they don't say nothing when they're sitting there literally harassing you where everybody can see it. You know, every now and then it may be one white person, but of course, white people got to save us. So it got to be one white person, and we got to hope one shows up for that certain event that says something, but in this case there was none, like a lot of cases. So when they don't show up and you finally react, now everybody is saying, whoa, now you're wrong for escalating into that physical violence. See, sometimes people need to be slapped, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way you learn. And it's ironic that the very people who are supporting people going to war right now, by the way, and who have never stopped from going to war over and over, have the audacity to tell you that you are violent. I don't know if I don't know if Mike Tyson is going to apologize. Like I don't know. That's the interesting thing. I really don't think. I really hope. I'm gonna say I really hope Mike Tyson don't apologize. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he tried to mellow out, and that dude understood that, and he tried to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? Right, Erica, it's always that be the bigger person, but it's not being about being the bigger person. It's not about being the right person. See, like, yo, on the video I was showing earlier, a young sister was talking about racism, and she was saying, like, yeah, it's just when the system is designed to do this, and then you know, it perpetuates a whole a culture of this and that, you know what I'm saying? And then the white dude got on, yeah, well, F you N-word, you know what I'm saying? It's the audacity to have that energy, right? But it takes that energy to have it. That's why they always telling you, right? When you start to escalate to violence, Now they're telling you that that's something wrong to do, because they cannot have you escalate into violence. Although that's the only thing that they've ever escalated to throughout this history. Who has had more wars than America? When has America not been at war? We just don't know enough of history to not know. I mean, before America was America, it was all wars. When America became America as a war, America sustained America as a war. And America takes over stuff right now by using war. And then when you get to the point where you're at a breaking point and you smack somebody in the face or you knock them out, now all of a sudden, well, violence is wrong. We shouldn't tolerate violence. We need to talk about our issues. But when you go to that courthouse, yeah, I know you do, Erica. I already know, and that's why I mess with you. And Raw do too. Both of y'all do. They have stuff on them. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. Mike seems like, I say, a free spirit. I don't know, but it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? That's a great question. I hope he doesn't. I'm gonna say I hope he doesn't, because if they make Mike Tyson, that's a badge for them. Do you not understand what the heavyweight championship means to Europeans? You know what I'm saying? Because it means that they're the greatest fighters in the world. This is where this whole great white myth comes from. You know what I'm saying? They live to be able to, especially if some black person becomes the heavyweight champion, where, well, you're still this N-word. It don't matter who you are. See, that's a sense of arrogance. I mean, it seems to escape us. Like, we have to explain something to somebody who's not even trying to hear it. But this whole thing is birthed from, like, with the whole Jack Johnson thing when he became the champion, and that's why I talk about Jack Johnson's story. It's the story of America from every angle. You know what I'm saying? Even with the issues with black men and black women, he's a modern day, or he's a representation of modern day thinking. Back then, it was crazy. But they tried to put up the great white hope to knock him out and take the championship back, and they had to use the laws by saying he transported white bitches across state lines and charged them after the law. Like, he did it before the law was even a law, and they still charged him anyway. And somebody like Mike Tyson, who is revered, who we say, oh yeah, like, you get knocked out like Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? We all know about Punch Out. And if I can make sure he's beneath me, I know what my place is in the society. And then when it don't go right, see, then they try to take it to a whole different level. Well, see, I understand he was calling you the N-word for 45 minutes and standing up, threatening you. I mean, Mike Tyson probably feared for his life. He's on the airplane. And I mean, if we're going to do a count here, who's responsible for the most terroristic acts in the history of the world? I would be scared for my life. And somebody standing over me, pointing at me, talking crazy. I would feel like I'm within my limits to knock this fool out. But see, in their society, which they call you a savage if you don't adhere to some stuff that they don't even live by. That's the crazy part, that some stuff that they don't even live by. A group of people who spends the most money on self-defense tells you not to spend nothing on self-defense, but to rely on them. A group of people who use violence to enforce their laws tells you that violence is wrong if you push somebody. A person who uses propaganda against you tells you that you are racist for even talking about something that affects you with this quote unquote especially with this quote unquote critical race theory thing. And I'm gonna get into that too. Right. I understand what you're saying, Raw. I feel you. But yeah, man, if I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If anybody want to talk about the Mike Tyson thing, I'm gonna go on to the next thing before I be on here. And I keep ranting and stuff like that. Cause there's more crazy stuff that I want to see. Yeah. And and I give it to Bukhari because Bukhari says that he won that fight and he may have, you know what I'm saying? But as long as you are fighting in their arenas, in their leagues, that's the issue. And I'm not saying that I'm not judging somebody for doing that. I'm just saying that's the obstacle that you're going to have to do. You may have to be like Mike Tyson, knocking somebody out on a plane like that and face the consequences that come with it. I mean, I used to be a saying, I don't know if it still exists amongst, you know what I'm saying? Because I would say I'm a millennial, but I can't claim the generation. I'll say my generation stops after 95, right? And I know there used to be a saying that says, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. But it seems like that's only maintained to one group of people. Right? That's all I'm saying. But see, like, we have this energy where like, oh yeah, I'm not racist, I'm not this, I'm not that. But it doesn't matter about any of that. It's about systems and powers that are in place. And it literally doesn't matter because you can say, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Right? But you're still going to do 10 years for stealing your own football cards, even though you're just OJ. And I don't care what you call yourself, you ain't going to escape that. But all right, let me go on to the next thing. All right, yeah, this one is crazy because I was gonna show this one last, but I'm gonna show this one first just in case because I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here or what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and show this, especially while nobody on here. Because this one is crazy, and I think people should pay attention, especially if we serious about what we talk about, and you'll draw your own conclusions from it. But all right.
In a largely poor and black region of rural Alabama, many are living without adequate septic systems. It's creating a dangerous wastewater crisis that residents and activists describe as environmental racism. NBC News Washington correspondent Yamiche Alcindor joins us now with more. Yamiche, good morning.
Good morning. In Lowndes County, Alabama, residents are struggling with failing sewage systems and ghastly pools of waste across their neighborhoods. It's made life there incredibly challenging and led the Justice Department to open an investigation. The dark green waters across from Jerry Dean Smith's home hold a foul-smelling mix of human waste.
It smells. It smells so bad.
In Haynesville, Alabama, and many towns across Lowndes County, residents pay for...
By the way, keep in mind, we all know about Flint, Michigan and stuff like this. And I'm sorry, let me show you the date. April 22nd, 2020. And today is April 24th, 2020. All right. So let me show y'all this video.
Justice Department to open an investigation.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm not muted. All right.
The dark green waters across from Jerry Dean Smith's home hold a foul-smelling mix of human waste.
It smells. It smells so bad.
In Haynesville, Alabama, and many towns across Lowndes County, residents pay for sewage to flow into these lagoons. But here, many homes have failing sewage systems or none at all.
You got waste running in people's yard, neighbors' yard. It backs up in the majority of these neighbors' homes. It backs up in the bathroom and on the floors.
Smith and her neighbors say it's a health risk.
And yo, this city is ran by the government, and they're trying to take in another state, they're trying to take a city that was ran by black people away for conditions that's not even close to this, right? And this is ran by the government, and they take their tax money too. By the way, when people have that reparations argument, they're taking their tax money too, and look what they're living in. And play a little bit back again.
Many homes have failing sewage systems for sewage to flow into these lagoons. But here, many homes have failing sewage systems or none at all.
You got waste running in people's yard, neighbors' yard. It backs up in the majority of these neighbors' homes. It backs up in the bathroom and on the floors.
Smith and her neighbors say it's a health risk. In fact, one study found 1 out of every 3 adults here tested positive for hookworms, an intestinal parasite.
Right, yo, do you see that? Like 1 out of every 3 adults tested positive for hookworms. And we talking about, you know, they haven't fixed Flint, Michigan, by the way, but Flint, Michigan was one of dozens. I can't tell you the number of cities, but it's a lot of cities the same way. And it's not just in the South, by the way. You know what I'm saying? For people like, yo, that's the South. No, it's not just the South. There are dozens of cities, maybe not the same as this, you know what I'm saying? But you probably got a problem with your water as well.
For hookworms, an intestinal parasite long thought to be eradicated.
It's not necessary for this to be going on in 2022. It just shouldn't be in the United States. It shouldn't be. This is the wealthiest country. A sewage system should be a right.
She and others believe this is racism, blaming the state and local government for not installing a centralized sewage system. In Lowndes County, which is majority Black, the poverty rate is nearly double the national average. At least 40% of homes have inadequate or no sewage systems at all. Catherine Coleman Flowers, who grew up here, is an environmental activist.
You call this America's dirty secret. Why?
Because it largely exists in rural communities and poor communities. And most people, when they find out about it, they're shocked. They don't believe that it's a reality in this country.
Last November, the Department of Justice opened a civil rights investigation aimed at assessing whether the Alabama and Lowndes County Health Departments are discriminating against Black residents. Earlier this month, the DOJ held its first public meetings here. Fed up residents sounded off.
I hope that y'all coming to work it for real and not play us for stupid or crazy.
Whether it's discrimination, direct or indirect, the net result is we need waste.
And by the way, you know, they doing the same thing that I'm doing right now, which is just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I hold myself accountable for that too. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. But we all doing the same thing all the time, talking about it, having social meetings about it, arguing about it. You know what I'm saying? But as people still living like that, you know what I mean? Like, and I show the videos that I show because I mean, yeah, of course, we all want that kind of stuff to stop. I ain't gonna say who doesn't, but you know, it's a lot more stuff that we should be more angry about. It's just that that's usually the thing that unifies people because us not controlling our own food, us not controlling our own sewer system. Like until my brother MG2 mentioned it, do you realize we don't control our own bowel movements because we don't have a way to dispose of them? We need somebody else to dispose of them. You know what I'm saying? And then we end up with environmental quote unquote racism like this. You know what I'm saying? Do you not realize we don't control any of this stuff? So, you know, let me keep playing the video.
A state health official disagrees and says DOJ won't find any wrongdoing.
They'll come out with the same conclusion I had. I've done my own investigation. I see no discrimination. If you flush your toilet, you're responsible. Your home is your property. It's private.
I'm sorry. I gotta play that again. I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Jay won't find any wrongdoing.
They'll come out with the same conclusion I had. I've done my own investigation.
the net result is we need waste management system.
A state health official disagrees and says DOJ won't find any wrongdoing.
They'll come out with the same.
And by the way, I stand by what I said. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as hard on the coon as nobody else.
Conclusion I had, I've done my own investigation. I see no discrimination. If you flush your toilet, you're responsible. Your home is your property. It's private property.
She even suggested residents use outhouses.
You got an outhouse on the outside and you got sewage on the ground. Environmentally, the outhouse is better.
She has personally started a nonprofit pilot program to put septic tanks outside some homes. But she says that organization doesn't have resources to help everyone. In the meantime, residents like 78-year-old Catherine Canyon are just trying to survive in squalid conditions.
If I go in there, if it rains, and take a shower, or flush my stew, the waste coming back up, sometimes in my kitchen sink.
Man, listen to what she's telling you. She's a 76-year-old black woman, man. And they paying taxes and all that, man.
Residents like 78-year-old Catherine Canyon are just trying to survive in squalid conditions.
If I go in there, if it rains, and take a shower, or flush my stew, the waste coming back up, sometimes in my kitchen sink. So I don't use dish, I use paper plates. It got me disgusted.
The sewage pooling below her trailer is rotting the floors. Recently, she says she broke her arm falling through the floor, but she can't afford to fix it or to move.
How do you feel living in this state?
Trapped. Nowhere to go. But we just have to pray and have faith and hope.
Praise Jesus. And why are they just interviewing her
She
and
says
not
she
even
broke
helping
her
her?
arm falling through the floor, but she can't afford to fix it or to move.
How do you feel living in this state?
Trapped. Nowhere to go. But we just have to pray and have faith and hope tomorrow will get better.
Amen, y'all. Amen. We just got to pray and have faith, and then maybe, I mean, I know 600 years have not been better or nothing like that, but maybe tomorrow will be better if we just pray and have faith, you know? So let's bow our heads and have a moment of prayer. Yeah, man. Yeah, Dwayne, it's crazy. They're using a cancer-causing disinfectant in the water in your county, but not to worry, they are aware of it. That's crazy, Hush Harbor. It happens though, you know, like I know like James River in Richmond is dirty as hell. Dirty as hell. Outhouses, Erica, straight up. She said, yeah, well, you know, nothing's going on here. Maybe they should use outhouses. You know what I'm saying? It's technically better for them to use outhouses and they could get less diseases by using outhouses than using their own toilets because it may back up in your own sink. Can you imagine living like this? Yo, my brother Bakari, what up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, my brother. Yeah, I don't know how
I want you to remember you got that woman back who say them black people need to use the outhouse.
I said I'm not as hard on the coons as other people. That's what I said.
No, you can't go back on it now. But she say use an outhouse, the porta potty like they on a construction site or some shit. That's what we do on construction sites. Use the outhouse, the porta potty. That's an outhouse. Instead of saying the city, the county need to take care of this, right? But see, do y'all know? Other than them being black, do y'all know why they would treat Lowndes County, Alabama like that? Do you know the history of Lowndes County, Alabama?
Break it down, Bukhari.
Okay, I always say white people got long-term memory. Lowndes County, Alabama is the home. Listen to me and understand me well. Is the home of the original Black Panther Party. It was not Oakland, California. It was Lowndes County, Alabama. And the original Black Panther Party in Lowndes County, Alabama, did not allow anyone else to join. It was not a integrated movement like the one in Oakland, California. You understand? And by the way, peace to everybody in the chat. So I tell people, white people, everybody in the world, I ain't gonna say everybody, but white people have long-term memory. Sometimes we act like we don't have a memory at all. She says she gonna pray and she thinks she's gonna win with Jesus on her side, right? I'm not gonna knock her thinking she's gonna win with Jesus on her side. That's an old 78-year-old woman. Hey, but at least she didn't say she can't. I'm just saying. But it's the youth. She's 78, right?
That's because
So
she said Jesus is gonna do it, Bukhari.
but it don't make a difference. At least somebody gonna do it. She didn't say can't. Long as the word can't don't come out, that means it can be done.
Can Jesus do it?
Through them, through the young people in that county. That's who need to be out there. That's who need to be doing it. That's who need to be going to the meetings. That's who need to be out there complaining in the streets. That's who need to be out there doing every damn thing, right? Is the young people in the county, not, and they interviewing a 78-year-old woman, then they interviewed the woman that's being paid off, right? Well, she got a job with the county, I guess. So, or the state. So she's scared to say something. Like a lot of people scared to lose their job. That woman ain't gonna give up her $20, $25 hour or her $65,000 a year salary. That's what individualism defeats and dominates collectivism at that point right there, because that one individual is working against her own people best interests. And she probably, if she is from that county, she probably have relatives over there. If she's from that county, right? If she's from that county, she probably have relatives, and she don't care. She sound like my cousin. I told you I have a cousin worse than Jesse Lee Peterson, man. I have a cousin, man. He really is I have a cousin that's the real life Uncle Ruckus, and that's the honest truth. So that's how these people work. She picked us up. I got a call.
All right. All right. Well, yeah. Well, I'll let you. Whenever you finish, you can come back. But I will say this, Bukhari, and I hope you listening. I will say Jesus. I'll say hasn't done it. I'm gonna say can't do it because it's been a long time now, and Jesus has not done it. So I'm gonna go ahead on record and say Jesus can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying, it takes all of us to do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I was gonna ask Bukhari and everybody in the room, you know what I'm saying? Because I really don't know. And I'll try to you know what I'm saying, freestyle, and hopefully my brother come back before we go to the next one. If anybody in the chat, you know what I'm saying, or if you want to come on to the show, what do you think would be your solutions for the people down there? Like, what do you think could help those people right now? You know what I'm saying? Let me put the link in the chat. What do you think would be a solution to help them? Like, I mean, ideas for a sewer system. I mean, I don't know. Now, you know me, I'll attempt to answer that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Bakari said he gonna be back. Um, but yeah, I attempt to answer that. Now, that's the issue, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it is I'm not going and I'm not blaming nobody and I'm gonna stand by what I said. I'm not as hard on the coon. Not saying that I don't hold them accountable though, you know what I'm saying? That's a different thing, I do hold them accountable. I'm not saying that. But I know who they are working for at the end of the day. I know that I'm just saying I don't blame that of a sick person for being I blame the person for making them sick. Now that don't mean they don't need to be locked in an insane asylum, but I know that they were made to be crazy. Now I feel like this system that made them crazy is the thing that needs to be destroyed first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And I showed this one, you know what I'm saying? This is probably the most serious thing that I'm going to show, and that's why I showed it first. But at the end of the day, Dwayne said that's the only solution to the problem. The issue is funding, and some of these black philanthropists out here doing whatever for corporations. Yeah, we need to do that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're not going to get these rich people to do anything, or else you would have been doing that. And I'm not saying that it's not all rich people, because like there are probably some who do that on the low, and they are afraid to even be associated with any of that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's about the people who are around them. And that's why a lot of these entertainers who get caught up, that's why they apologize. I'm not making no excuses for them. But like, look at Sharif Abdul-Rahim from the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? He did what he did, and the black people didn't have his back. You understand? Yo, Tanzan, what's up? How you doing? Oh, yeah, it's all good, Tanzan. And that's the issue, you know what I'm saying? Is just that black people collectively haven't gotten their stuff together. And the only thing that we can possibly do, because number one, we are in areas that we probably aren't living like that. But guess what? We aren't in control of our own sanitation system. So this could be us if we aren't in control of that. And that's, I'm not trying to go back to the can't be racist thing, but that's important. And being part of power is controlling what happens to your own feces. If you can't even control what happens to your own feces, what can you say to somebody else if you need them to dispose it for you? These are companies that we need to have. We think revolution is running up in the White House and shooting the president and putting a flag in the ground. No, it's building corporations. And it doesn't have to be corporations, but businesses that we desperately need right now. And it doesn't have to be everybody. We don't need people who we consider as coons. We need people who are all in the same industry. Just looking on here, how many people I see in the trucking industry in one lane. How that can unite so many people with businesses who want to send stuff places, but we have to rely on other people to send stuff overnight. But we can easily control all of that stuff, because guess what? We don't have to reinvent the wheel. Our ancestors literally did that thing. They may not have destroyed the quote unquote system, and I call it white supremacy, and only because not saying that they're supreme or nothing like that, but when you get pulled over by the police, I mean, you can argue, but at the end of the day, we see what happens. We can say, oh yeah, I'm not black, I'm this, I'm that, you know what I'm saying? But it don't really matter. It's a system, a societal system. I think there's a difference in race, but the system of what's going on is something different. I mean, well, at the end of the day, every empire falls, you know what I'm saying? But what I think we need to start putting our energy is how to rise with our own empire, not necessarily how to tear down something else. And trust me, nobody wants to see it destroyed more than me. I will push the nuclear button myself. I don't got nothing to lose, right? But I think we need to start putting more energy into what we can do. And I get completely what Bakari is saying with the can and can't argument. And I don't disagree with what he fundamentally means. You know what I'm saying? Like my disagreement is something on a whole total different level. You know what I'm saying? They don't have really nothing to do with that. But it's about the rise of us. You know what I'm saying? All of these movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't get into that's why I don't say none of this stuff. But, you know, and I'm not even going to go into it now, but the rise of us is the most important thing that can happen, because the rise of us is the destruction of everything else. And that's what we don't want to realize, because everybody else realizes the power that we have. And if it don't have to be nothing spooked out, your power as a consumer is detrimental to somebody if you stop doing that. Or it would be something great if you put it towards something, especially not all black people, but in a group of black people. Let's say everybody in this room, it says 11 people here, but everybody who's listening, let's target this particular business, not to destroy somebody else, but like fan base. Let's all go down low fan base and not get on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Not to destroy YouTube, although forget that shyster kike, Polish shyster bitch, you know what I'm saying, who keep blocking me for these videos. But because we want to see our own platforms rise. When we get to that level, that's when you achieve greatness. Even getting to the level of wanting to see their stuff destroyed is good. But greatness is wanting to build your own, because you know that your own is greater than anything that somebody else can do. But man, yo, I keep getting on rants, yo. So I'm gonna go to the next thing, because I'm gonna show a couple more screen shares. This is already at an hour, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hold on one second. I'm gonna go to the next. And Bakari, you know, if you come back on, because I wanted to hear if you had an opinion about the Mike Tyson thing too, Bakari, if you're still listening. So let me go to the next one. And some of these, like I said, I haven't really watched all the way through, but I just thought they was like interesting from what I saw so far, and I meant to show them. So right, and I'm gonna show this one because we talk about that. There's a thing about critical race theory too, and you know, like for a while, I was naming a lot of shows critical theory this, critical theory that. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing of trolling people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it, yo. Like for here on this platform, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize that this platform thrives on seeing us tearing each other down, and it's going to highlight that, and it's going to um you know, shadow ban the people who is about us lifting each other up. And I would look at it if it's something weird, if it was any other way, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, everything I'm saying, I hope it could be disproven, because I hope I'm wrong about all of this stuff. I really, really do. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem that way, you know what I'm saying? And it's influencing our kids' minds, you know what I'm saying? And I want you to see, like, understand, because we had our own schools as well. We had hospitals, we had all this stuff, but we had our own schools. And even though the teachers taught out of Jet magazines in some cases, right? The Jet magazine, by the way, showed real Black history and Black facts and Black news that was really going on. You know what I'm saying? At the time, it was controlled by Black people. And now we are at a point where our education, our minds, our children's minds is shaped by these very people who have had nothing but a history of our wanting our destruction, man. So let me go to the next one.
Defaming. All new at 11, a Fulton County school taking swift action after seeing video riddled with profanity, defaming a former U.S. president spoken by a substitute teacher.
And that video was sent directly to 11 Alive by a viewer. 11 Alive's Don White is live outside Centennial High School in Roswell with what the district had to say when we sent them that video. Don?
That video has quickly circulated online, and the school district gave me a copy of the letter that the principal sent home to parents saying that teacher has been fired. And just hours ago, I spoke to the vice president of the Atlanta NAACP to get his reaction.
When I was in high school, I was learning about Obama, increasing drone strikes in my country. That pissed me off.
It's very disturbing, the language that was being used in a classroom.
That language
Obama.
used by a substitute teacher in this classroom at Centennial High School.
School is not the place to have that type of vitriol conversation with young people. So that's why we're concerned. And then, the definite racist overtones that was coming out were very, very concerning.
He bombed the shit out of my people.
The teacher was heard in this expletive-laced lesson, making racially disparaging remarks about former U.S. President Barack Obama and directed to students.
No generation of young people should be subjected to a hostile environment where they're made to feel unsafe.
Yeah, I don't mean to stop it just for this reason, but I want y'all to look at the face they showed Obama. This is like classic propaganda stuff. Like, it's just kind of crazy. And I can't really explain it to y'all right now, but just look at the face when they were saying what they were saying and then the face they showed.
Lace lesson, making racially disparaging remarks about former U.S. President Barack Obama and directed to students.
No generation of young people should be subjected to a hostile environment where they're made to feel unsafe and uncomfortable.
The Fulton County School spokesperson sent 11 Alive this statement, saying in part, "We expect all members of our school community, students and adults, to treat others with dignity and respect." Unfortunately, this morning, a Fulton County substitute working today at Centennial made comments that go against what we represent as a school. The district fired the substitute teacher and reported him to HR. Still, Gerald Griggs with the Atlanta NAACP says the organization will take action, contacting the school board.
We understand that they've taken swift action and we believe that was appropriate, but we still are concerned that that level of political rhetoric that is damaging was being used in the school in front of young people.
Now, it's crazy at a time of, and my bad, I meant to show y'all the comments. Let me share the screen again. I'm gonna start showing the comments all the time on these. Let me see. All right, so somebody says, all right, so I guess they on that one too, you know what I'm saying? Well, of course, I guess this is a black dude. I was waiting on the racist part to happen. He said nothing racist. This is his substitute, and I don't know if Erica and Bakari is still listening. You know what I'm saying? This is and whoever in Atlanta, Georgia. This is happening in Atlanta. This is who's substituting at y'all kids' school. You know what I'm saying? And they going on their rants and stuff like that. And of course, Obama ruined his effing country. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is a time where we live in where they literally are passing laws not to teach about critical race theory, and they see nothing wrong with this. They're not going to hold him accountable or nothing like that. If that's not quote unquote critical race theory, I don't know what is. But by the way, teaching that Christopher Columbus discovered America is critical race theory, right? See, they just name certain things, certain stuff for a reason, right? And they try to complicate the issue. See, critical race theory is just talking about issues like redlining and how that affects Black people in America. It talks about the school system and how that affects Black people in America. It talks about how they use voting and the laws like that, how it affects Black people in America. And the fact that they have to have affirmative action laws proves the fact that the critical race theory, or what they had the concept in the 80s, we're talking about. But the fact that we are so friendly and love everybody so much that these laws that was designed to protect us now go out for everybody but us. And it's crazy because I would bet any amount of money that white women benefit from affirmative action more than black men 100%. But they use these same kind of things, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to show that one too. But I'm gonna go to the next one because I want you to show, like, be careful with the violence too, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna just go through these next couple ones. All right, so this is somebody's neighbor, you know what I'm saying? I forget what this one was, but I don't know how many videos I've showed, and this is why I try to tell people that, buying ammunition is not against the law. Exercising your Second Amendment right is not against the law. And fearing for your life is a right that you have, because maybe we should start bringing back the saying, I'd rather be, judged by 12 than carried by 6. But,
Neighborhood terrorized for months. Tires were slashed. Racist notes were landing on people's homes. Tonight, one of their neighbors faces federal hate crime charges. Stephanie Haynes explains how the feds caught him. She's live in the newsroom. Steph.
Steve, 54-year-old William McDonald is accused of leaving disturbing messages and damage to the cars of at least 4 families in West Dallas, all within a mile of his own home. Investigators say these messages were so frightening, some of the families have since moved.
Federal authorities announced Wednesday they arrested the man they believe is behind scenes like this: slashed tires, smashed car windows, and graphic notes. William McDonald made his first appearance in federal court Tuesday. According to the criminal complaint, over the course of a year, McDonald left notes full of racial slurs and threatening language to 4 families in West Dallas. Most of the notes left on their cars. Notes like this one, Reginald Wilkerson discovered, saying the family needed to go back to the north side.
My daughter had to go somewhere else. It's just sick to know somebody watches you that much.
Investigators believe McDonald targeted a family in his same apartment complex near 84th and Mitchell. Court documents indicate the kids there have since moved somewhere else, and at least 4 people have moved out of West Dallas altogether. It's thanks to surveillance video. Investigators say they were able to find their suspect. The criminal complaint states on March 18th, West Dallas police pulled McDonald over for a citation and asked him to sign it with his email. Quote, William McDonald's handwriting in his email address is the same handwriting in the 6 hate notes, specifically the lowercase letters A and G, which are very distinct. On Tuesday, investigators searched McDonald's home and car, where they found a baseball bat and another note with hateful language. The criminal complaint states McDonald denied writing the notes and, quote, during an interview, William McDonald stated in substance, "So I'm getting arrested for a note that you found in my car?"
It's not clear if McDonald has an attorney at this point, and efforts to reach him.
Now, I know this one isn't unusual or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, and number one is for y'all to be prepared and understand that they have been arming themselves, right? But I've been coming on here, and I'm going to we're gonna do it this weekend on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold the next conference call or whatever. But the thing is, dude is outworking me, you know what I'm saying? He outworking all of us. He going around spreading letters, getting all the people that he can to apply to his organization. Now, there's no telling how many people have called that organization back. And there's no telling how big that organization is. And they're not sitting there making up reasons or excuses why they can't do what they have to do. But instead of us doing the same thing, and like I said, I'm including myself in that, they are outworking us. That's how they get in the position that they're in. They're willing to put the work in. They do the talking. They have the same conversation. They argue just like us. But they get to a point where they put aside their tribal differences and they put the work in to maintain the position that they're in. And I always say that we have to have more urgency than they do to get out of the situation that we are in. But even in that case, and including me, they outwork all of us. But, you know, of course, we all got to have the, you know, forgiveness thing, you know, going on. But, like I said, I'm gonna go through the rest of this real quick because I've been on here too long. I was hoping to go on the Fanbase app, but it might be too late after this. If anybody open up a room, just you know, put it in the chat, let me know. But I'm gonna share the next video real quick. All right, hold on. Yo, Dwayne, what up?
Yo, what up, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling, bro.
That's what's up. It's actually my first time calling into a live stream.
Oh, yo,
It's
that's
all
what's
good.
up, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you all did it, bro.
Yeah, well, I appreciate your content the most, you know, because it
Thank
really speaks to my heart, you know. But
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of go back and make a comment about the whole Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
See, what people don't understand is that, or they forget to realize that, you know, Mike been through a lot in his whole life. He's from Brownsville, Brooklyn. I'm from Queens, but I lived in Brownsville. And Brownsville is like the murder capital of New York. So to survive that and come out of it on top, become heavyweight champion, is an accomplishment all on its own. But you got to think about the history of Mike Tyson. You know, my man's been to jail. He's been to prison. And he himself said that was the scariest moment of his life. Like, he's never been afraid of anything, not the streets, not in the boxing ring. But once he went to prison and cats were like punking him because who he was, that made him afraid, you know? So, and it changed his whole mentality, you know? But he came out humble. You know, if you remember, he became Muslim and came out mad humble. But since then, he's been through a lot, you know, with the death of his daughter and all that kind of stuff, the divorces and all that. But if you fast forward to now, I'm gonna say it plain and simple: white people love Mike Tyson. You know, they feel as if, you know, it's that old kind of like my favorite buck thing from back in the day. You know, and you know, with celebrity, there comes sort of like this sense of privilege amongst white folks. They feel as if they can do and say anything. You know, almost like they own you. And all that stuff must be running through Mike's head. You know, that's why, you know, he decided to take all his money, reinvest it into like his cannabis ranch and stuff. So he's trying to chill in his old age, you know, and do his thing. So I can imagine sitting there and you got some young punk coming up to you and taunting you and teasing you. Your mind's immediately gonna go back to the Brooklyn days or go back into, you know, Rikers Island or something, you know, and that was a catalyst. Or to have all it took was for that boy to, you know, throw a plastic bottle at him, anything to set him off, you know. But from this point forward, you know, I wish him luck. I wish him well, but you know, he can't be taking no JetBlue planes with these fools, man, because they're gonna come at him. You know what I'm saying? And just to test him. And I say this, all that to say, you know, that's for every one of us as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Walking through this crazy nation of ours, you're gonna get tested every day. You know.
Hey, brother, let me ask you, because Rob brought it up. Do you think he gonna apologize?
He probably will. He probably will, because he's a humble dude like that, you know. And I'm pretty sure he lost his temper, and he'll apologize on that basis. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to be a man of peace. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he didn't want to have to duff up boy, but you know what I'm saying? But you get physical with somebody like that, a former boxer that just mauled people, you know, as a professional, you're gonna get a reaction. You know, and unfortunately, it might have been a trap for Mike. You know what I'm saying? Cat might have been like, "Yo, Mike, you know, that's what Mike get knocked in the face." I think Chris Rock maybe joke about that way back in the day. You know?
Hey, I can understand you a little bit, but your mic messing up a little. Some.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm like in a bad spot here. I'm calling from Hawaii, so sometimes the signals are messed up.
Yo, that's what's up, yo.
Yeah, man. I moved here a couple of years ago. Y'all on the mainland. You know what I'm saying? Like too much big stuff.
Yeah, I can make out what you're saying. It's just a little, you know what I'm saying, like a robot a little bit, but I can make
Right,
it
right.
out though.
Okay. Hang on a second. Let me switch with my headset. Then. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like my headset. I got a Bluetooth headset that messes up once in a while. But like I said, I like Tyson back in the day. I used to go all the fights and the amateur fights and stuff, and watch him come up. Used to go to the clubs in New York and stuff and see him there. Mike was a mean dude, walking down the street. People, were part like the Red Sea, and gave him that respect. But like I said, that's us in the hood. You know what I mean? Like I said, these people act like they own all celebrities and famous people of our particular persuasion. It's still that mentality, that slave mentality, that's persists to this day. In all walks of life. But if I could touch on that whole situation down there, also.
Yeah, I was
with the
about to
sewage.
ask you. Yeah, I was about to ask you that next.
Well, we got where I live on the island of Kauai, right? And we know the history of like places like where there's a lot of Aboriginal people. This place was conquered, as they usually do, and in some patches here, it's like that. They have the same problem as far as sewage goes. There is none. For impoverished people who are still stuck in that loop of poverty from colonialism. And nobody's doing anything about it. It's a sad state of affairs, and especially when you have crooked politicians who are in the pocket, that are just looking out for themselves. We got a serious plague happening right now across the world, I would say, that is just defined by narcissism. People just care about themselves, not the next one. And that kind of outlook and attitude destroys lives across the board. But we have to be aware that these things are happening. We can't be complacent anymore. Have the wool pull over our eyes by entertainment or all kinds of different things that distract us from the real purpose in life, which is to uplift one another, and live in unity. People can't seem to get that together, and it's been God knows how long we've been on this planet. And I'm gonna say this out loud too: Jesus ain't gonna help you. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Jesus is a compilation of myths. You can interpret it any way you want. You can use the good side of it, but we know there are those who don't. We know there are those who believe blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus believes in white supremacy. So it can be twisted any way. The Bible's a man-made, or man-written book. Which comes from Freemasonry and all that.
Hey, my brother,
So-
though, but white Jesus is coming around the mountain.
Right. All the time. Right. He's gonna break what Bob Marley said, about God being a man on earth and not coming through the clouds to rescue you, But, not to disparage anybody's faith, but that's just where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
if it helps somebody get
No, I was about to say, yeah, and it's not against nobody's belief because I don't want nobody to think I'm making fun of their ideologies or nothing. And I don't like talking about black people's ideology, you know what I'm saying? Because it just leads to more
Right.
arguments and disagreements. But I do disagree with anything that leads you outside of like having power with yourself and controlling your own life, and you feel like somebody outside or something outside of yourself has to come and save you because it's never going to come. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You'll be waiting a lifetime and then some for that answer, instead of, like you said, being introspective and turning to yourself for the answers, or seeking out answers in those who know a little something about life and how to get past these troubled times, or, something similar to happen in their lifetime. There's too much reliance on, like you said, the outside source to dictate what your life should be like. How you should live, like you were saying before, what you should eat, where you live, the whole gambit, the whole spectrum of it all, and it's hard to say what the catalyst will be for that rude awakening, but it seems like it's coming. We got this war that's keeps ramping up.
Yeah, but slavery wasn't even enough, my brother.
Yeah, for real. Exactly. Yeah, that wasn't enough to wait to pick it up. And that goes into a whole psychological thing. We know all those things that people have studied and learned over the years. And we've seen it, over and over again. But hopefully, with brothers like yourself and a lot of other people out there trying to create a new awakening amongst people that is tangible and informative. Hopefully that seed will be planted again and grow into a bigger movement. I think I saw a T-shirt recently. Maybe it was a video you showed earlier where a guy had the T-shirt that said, "It's not just a moment; it's a movement." You got to keep it going. It's not just a one-time thing. And we protest, George Floyd or Breonna Taylor, and then forget about the next day.
Yeah.
You should try to keep your bread up.
Yeah, yo, that's a fact. Cause the whole time before Breonna Taylor, and this is not about that. Cause absolutely, that should make us as mad as it should make us more mad than actually, you know what I'm saying? But before Breonna Taylor, after Breonna Taylor, we still control nothing. You know what I'm saying? And let me go to the next thing. Let me go to the next thing real quick. Cause I ain't gonna be on here too long. But I'm glad you come in on here. Cause you said something about, because I asked you about Mike Tyson apologizing. You said he probably will, and Raw agreed with you. And I hope not. I'm just saying I hope not. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Mike Tyson,
right.
But
I hope he sticks to his guns. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's all.
Well,
I'm
Mike
saying.
is Mike. He's unpredictable, so he might not. He might be like, "Fuck that." It was part of my language. You know how Mike is. You see
that's what I'm going off of.
Right?
Exactly.
I'll eat your children, Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm going off of. But he did apologize after that too, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because he got to make money too. You know what I'm saying? He got sponsors and investors and stuff. And handlers and all that. But it's all good.
But speaking of people apologizing, I want you to see how other people handle those such things, and they're not nowhere near Mike Tyson. In fact, I don't think none of us would be afraid of this person. Well, I think all of us would be afraid of this person, although we have no reason to. So let me show you this video.
All right.
Cast tailored to you.
Pinpoint your exact location.
Customize the interactive radar. And listen to weather headlines on the go. The WCCB WeatherWise app, powered by Quick Cleaning and Restoration.
All right, my bad for that.
What are we going to talk about tonight? Being hot, being beautiful, being white, being my new wave?
Hey, brother, do you remember this video?
Yeah, I think I do. I think I remember seeing it recently. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this happened probably like a year ago.
Okay.
But it did just come back in the news recently because she's
Talk about tonight.
Okay.
Being hot, being beautiful, being white, being my new wave.
It's a Charlotte story that grabbed national headlines. A woman quickly dubbed South Park Susan caught on camera in a racist rant at two black women in a South Charlotte parking lot.
It happened back in 2018. Tonight, Susan Westwood is speaking out about that night for the first time. It's a story you will see only on WCCB.
Am I a racist now? No. Was I then? Perhaps.
Susan Westwood says she has changed since this vile video went viral back in 2018.
Is your boyfriend here? Is your baby daddy here? Nobody cares.
The 54-year-old no longer lives here in Charlotte. She moved here to Charlottesville, Virginia recently to be closer to her father. It was just a couple of months ago that Westwood decided she was ready to talk about how she treated sisters Mary and Lisa Garris that night, the two women accosted by Westwood while they waited for AAA.
I'm white.
By the way, I don't know why the hell this is news that she's ready to talk about how racist she was one night.
I'm girl white.
That's privilege.
Yeah.
White. I never really publicly apologized, to both them and the Black community. I can certainly see why the Black community can think that my actions were racist.
You said I can understand why the Black community thinks that what I did was racist. Do you understand that what you did was racist?
I do.
Westwood says what happened that night was rooted in her bigotry and her alcoholism. She says she drank 6 glasses of wine, and while she says she didn't black out, she doesn't remember most of what happened that night. I asked her if she's seen the videos.
Drunk white bitches, man.
And it took me a long time to watch those.
They're pretty bad.
I know they are. Yep, they are. I don't like that person, but that's not the person that I am today.
Still gonna make $125,000 Monday morning. Who are you?
The fallout from the video was swift. Westwood was fired from her job. Her apartment complex asked her to leave, and she was criminally charged with misuse of 911 and other offenses. She pleaded guilty, got 12 months probation, and the judge ordered her to keep going to substance abuse classes. In 2019, she relapsed.
All right, so calling I mean, I don't know if y'all want to classify a white person calling the police on you as a death threat or actually attempted murder, but she got 12 months probation for that.
Wow. That's that privilege, yo. For real. You know what I'm saying? 6 glasses of wine don't do that. It don't make you a racist. And then you know, find salvation somehow because you got caught on camera. That's that narcissism. That's all that is, you know?
Yeah,
And because you got fired.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna finish.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let me play. I'm gonna play the rest. They gonna say some more stuff.
Actually, I got a DWI in Wake County.
Another wake-up call for Westwood that she says pushed her to dig deeper into her
Some more
sobriety
thug
and
stuff going
anti-racism work.
Are you a racist? I am not a racist anymore. I do not believe I am. In fact, I believe I'm anti-racist.
Westwood tells me she will change careers this summer from insurance sales to life coaching.
I think it's my job now. And to a certain extent, to have these conversations. I've had them with myself. I've had them with people around me who either accept it or don't accept it. But I think part of my vision, part of my legacy is to be an anti-racist, is to talk about these things openly and honestly with anybody that will at least listen.
Westwood's conviction.
All right, so there you
How
have
convenient.
it. Yeah, she apologized. Well, 5 years later, she apologized. You know what I'm saying?
Because of her
So,
legacy.
yeah. So,
That's
yeah, and she was criminally charged, but now she's changing her career to a life coaching. So, would you hire this white bitch?
Yo, they're gonna do a background check. Like, nah. License revoked. You crazy?
Nah. They probably she probably get the most gigs out of anybody for real.
Oh, probably. You know what? Yeah, in this twisted world, yeah, more than likely. Yeah. Oh, you changed your ways. I understand. You understand what I'm going through. You know.
Right.
That's a bunch of bull.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, like you said, it's that old saying, man. The complexion for the protection. You know what I mean? Let a sister do something like that. Shoot. You know, she'd be under the jail. You know what I mean? Like, it's outrageous, man. But all right, partner, I got to bounce, man. I got to take care of some things. I just want to call and touch base, you know. And you said Saturday you're going to do another live stream?
No, I'm not gonna do a live stream. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my email. It's in the description. We're gonna have a live Zoom meeting, but the thing is, on the Zoom meetings, you got to show your face, like, you know, because on those we like serious and you know, we try to actually do something. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it in the chat right now.
That's what's up. Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have the
I'm on
Zoom
my
call
phone
this
so,
weekend.
Okay. I'll tune in or I'll try to participate or something like that.
Yeah. So just take my email and email me if you want the link to the Zoom. You know.
Okay, you got it, man. Good talking to you, brother.
All right, bro.
All right, keep it strong, man.
All right, peace, my brother.
All right, peace out, man.
All right, but yeah, man, I showed that video because you know, we was talking about this apology thing, and we got this thing about welcoming everybody back into the community with open arms. All I got to do is apologize. Oh, I was racist then, but I'm not racist now. And I'm going to turn out to be a life coach and teach other people how to do the same things that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And this is the person who was quote unquote criminally charged. And this is the offense for them calling the police on you. You understand? And the problem is not what they do. The problem is not our reaction. It's our response. Actually, the problem is our reaction, that the fact that we react and don't respond. And the fact that somebody like Mike Tyson would probably be quicker to apologize than this white bitch who just harassed everybody. And I call them that for a specific reason. But they'll be quicker to apologize. Mike Tyson, right? The heavyweight champion of the world who people are afraid of, will be apologizing before this white bitch does. And now all of a sudden she's quote unquote anti-racist. But this is who joins groups like the quote unquote Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And they are ran by these organizations. And our response is always so lackluster. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat one more time because I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna show one more video because I want to show our response to all of this. And I just really saw this when I just did the live, you know. But I want to show our response to all of this in the mindset. And I'm not saying this is black people, but I want you to see that. Because I always say I'm not as hard on the coon, but that doesn't mean I don't hold them accountable. I'm just not as hard on them because I understand how they are developed. They are products of the system. They are nothing but the product. And I believe in going after the root of something as opposed to the byproduct of it. It's like when you have the flu, but you worried about trying to stop sneezing. No, I want to get rid of the flu. Time to work, my brother. How you doing? It's been a minute, my brother. And like I said, I've been on here way too long. So I'm gonna show these last couple videos and then I'm gonna get up out of here. All right. And this is from the video I just did the live premiere on. But I want y'all to see a couple of responses from black people.
As ugly and hateful the Confederacy was, it is our history. So I think it is a compromise that we're willing to make to relocate it to somewhere that doesn't stand for justice as our courthouses do.
All right, so this is the issue, you know what I'm saying? We are willing to compromise with people who are not willing to compromise, and that is a weakness in itself. You cannot be willing to compromise on your boundaries. I'm not willing to compromise on letting somebody get away with murder. And I'm not saying this is comparison to murder or nothing like that, but I'm not compromising my boundaries for nothing or nobody. This is the part of having a backbone that we have to get back to because it's something that we don't have to do that's never been done. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. But we have to get out of that illusion of inclusion. Now, I will say this system that currently exists has never been destroyed. And that's what we are doing here today. And that's why we have to have patience. But the mind frame that we have, right? Well, we are so willing to compromise with things that are uncompromisable is a sick mindset that you have to get rid of. It's okay to stand on your boundaries. I don't compromise on certain things. Do you know why I say we need to be separated? Because if you feel like it's okay to murder Trayvon Martin and it's justified, I would not argue with that. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disrespect the memory of somebody like Trayvon Martin or what happened to him. It's just better we don't live in the same society if you don't think that that was a crime. If you think a grown man can murder a young boy because he got Skittles and he walking home in his own neighborhood, we don't deserve to. We don't need to be living in the same system. But we just so caught up with our own people that we don't take the time to just build with the people Man, my bad. Let me keep going with this video.
But Say Their Names Alabama has some opposition from about 24 members and supporters of the Sons of Confederate Veterans.
Regardless how the next person feel, I'm not gonna take my flag down. If I got anything to do with it, ain't no monument gonna come down.
Daniel Sims says he was adopted as a child.
My whole family's white. Went to all white school, grew up in an all white neighborhood. My grandfather was white, and he was the main one.
In real life, Clayton Bigsby.
Went to all white school, grew up in an all white neighborhood. My grandfather was white, and he was the main one that fought in this war here. And he's taught me everything I know.
He explains how he'd feel if the statues and flag were relocated.
It may make my blood boil if they just come up here and feel like they can just tear it down. I don't see me still living if they do that right there. That monument ain't hurting nobody. That monument ain't killing a soul. It ain't talking bad to nobody. It ain't even racist.
But Dunstan says she's confident her group will be successful in getting the flag and monuments removed.
And I don't know if the story is true, but I think they reported that well, they didn't report, but I don't know if it's true or not, but he divorced his wife because she was a nigga lover. You know what I'm saying? So the problem is, you know what I'm saying? And I say I don't blame the coon, or I don't I'm not as hard on the coon, because these people are sick. You know what I'm saying? We all suffer from some level of Stockholm syndrome. I call it Black syndrome because none of us are from no Stockholm, right? We all suffer from this syndrome, and it's no different, right? And I'm not blaming the victims of somebody who have done something to literally take their identity and destroy it and give them something that is clearly not them and try to incorporate it. It's going to make you crazy. When you're trying to be something that you're not, it makes you crazy. And then we wonder why we do so many crazy things. Because we try to identify as everything but who we are. And you can call yourself whatever you want to be, but you have to face the fact that what society sees you as, when you get riding down the street and the cop pulls you over, you have that certain nervousness. I don't care what you call it, Black, African, whatever. You have that same nervousness as anybody else. And if you think that you don't, we've seen too many examples of that. There's an issue. And that's the whole problem with all of this. And that's why I don't get into a lot of that stuff. But why I don't blame them is because they are way more psychological damage than a lot of us. A lot of people don't have self-hate out of just thin air. Environments have been manufactured. People have had certain experiences, and I get all of that. But I'm not going to get away from where the root of the problem is. And that's my whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So before I do that, I'm going to play the last video because I don't even really want to play this, but I saw this and I figured I had to play it. So
Say Their Names Representative say they'll be at every Marshall County Commission meeting and demonstrating here at the courthouse, every commission meeting and every second and fourth Wednesday, as I said, of the month, demonstrating to make sure those flags and monuments are removed.
Now, I'm sorry, y'all. And look, I know I did say I not as hard on the coon, but I mean, I can't really defend this one, man. I have to apologize for this one. And I'm not even one to be like, yo, I apologize on behalf of something, because I don't feel like nobody can do that, but this one made me do this. Look at this video.
Flags and monuments are removed.
Now, wait a minute. Not only was the dog first.
Monuments are removed.
Not only was the dog first, not only is there a watermelon and this fool just sitting there looking at us smiling, right? Let's keep going. Now the dog minding his own business, doing what dogs do. I don't even know if you could feed dogs watermelon, but the dog gets it first, right? Now, this is for y'all who think that they're not doing this stuff on purpose or they're just somehow ignorant and they be because she gonna be like, oh no, I was just no, I had no idea. I was just it just happened to go. No, they know what they're doing, and you try to intellectualize this, and they just simply display dominance. Not everything can be intellectualized. That's an important aspect of it. But we can't get away from reality, the real world. Black people are so spooked out. And it has me wondering how spooked out we really are. Not only is the dog first, not only is it a watermelon, and look at this white bitch. Is she worth all of this? Is she worth it to you? My goodness. Now the dog is minding his own business, man. And look at this man's face. Now, she feeds the dog first on purpose. Look at this. Look at her mind plotting the whole time like, "Oh, I'm going to love this so much." And he knows what's coming. You can see the shame. And I'm not blaming him. This is us as a whole. I'm including myself in this. When I have these shows like this and we ain't really doing nothing, and y'all get the fan base app, but when we on these apps and stuff and not doing nothing, this is the reality of what it is. This is a physical manifestation of it. This is why I'm not as hard on the Coons, because it's the physical manifestation of what we have not done. We have not reprimanded stuff like this. And Matil wasn't enough to prevent something like this from ever happening. And I'm not blaming the Coon because I'm blaming all of us for allowing this to happen. Look at this. She's going to get a lot of it to make sure. And look at this. Look at the smile on her face when she did it. It was almost like, and I'm going to show y'all that picture, matter of fact. Look at this. And look how she forced it on him and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude, he really didn't want to do it. Look how he jumped back and everything. Like, look how he jumped back and look how she forced it in his face. And look at that face, man. Take a picture of that face and y'all wonder why I call them white bitches. And while y'all going in on black women, y'all wonder why I call them white bitches. Look at him and look at her. And this is, she'll tell you she did it by accident, but this is who y'all give a pass to. Look at that face. I want you to take a physical picture of her face because I'm going to show you another face that looked just like that in a second. Look at this. And this is talking about the de-emasculation of black men. If this is not the de-emasculation of a black man with the black part is demasculated with the watermelon. The man part is demasculated by his face and her face. We're not going to talk about the demasculation of it. And I'm not picking on him. I'm telling you, this is the physical manifestation of black people right now. Of us allowing everything that we've allowed to happen. Of us not controlling our own septic tanks, our own airlines. About heavyweight champions apologizing. About people who can walk up and call the police on you and possibly get you shot now call themselves anti-racist. This is the physical manifestation of that. And I'm keeping this up here because look at her face and look and remember that. And remember, because I say, you know, speaking of rape culture, we're not even going to talk about the real rape culture of what happened to black women. But I would say in this country, which will probably get me ostracized and black people will stand 20 feet away from me. But white women have probably raped more black men in the history of America than the other way around. I would probably bet money that they've lied about black men raping them more than it actually happening. But them raping black men by saying, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to say that you raped me. But this is who we give a pass to. This is who we let rock. So, Tanzan, what's up?
Chilling.
Chilling.
Yes.
Yeah, what's up,
Yes,
Tanzan? What's your thought?
yes.
And by the way, yo, what's up, Jerome Davis? I'll read y'all comments. But yeah, what you think, Tanzan?
It's sad. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's a bad show. We're losing. We are losing. But that doesn't mean that we win. But right now, we have to admit we're losing. And we have to figure out a new strategy for winning. Because this being nice strategy, being just letting everybody, have their way with us, it's really not working for us. And I think the first thing is just to admit that this thing is not working. Being all nice and pleasant and forgiveness and all this, when people are coming at you with all kinds of, insult and assault, this is not working. And my only hope is that the hope will die, that this hope for reconciliation, this hope for post, things are okay now, it will die in Black people, in the old Black people. And I mean old in thinking, because there are also some young people who are old, who have just, to be old is to be, defeated, to say that this is it, it's over, and this is the best it's going to be. But I want the young people to think that this is not it, this can't be, and it's not working, and it's time to try something new, something else. Whatever it is, you have to try something else, because this hasn't worked for us and it's not working. So yeah, I'll say that. And thanks for having me on. I'm sorry I came in a bit late, so I was still, just catching up and listening. I like to know, what's going on before I just come in and say, hey, what's up? So I did see the video, the Mike Tyson video. I saw the sewage problem in Alabama. I saw, so I did catch up a bit.
Okay, yeah. So you want to talk about each one of them, like whichever one you want to talk about? You can talk about all of them if you want.
Well, you have to go soon, but in regards to to the Tyson one, for me, and I think I spoke about it somewhere, but the main thing for me is that why was he unprotected? Why was he traveling alone? Because he knows that there are idiots out there. He's been around these people, and he knows that they're just looking for a reason. And for me, I would say, the airlines, it's their responsibility. He shouldn't have to worry about, nobody have to worry about being, accosted and assaulted and provoked just, in public. But unfortunately, he's not a public figure. So I think that somebody in that position should have should have somebody to deal with people like that in public. He should not be unprotected, just like, and I'm not saying that, he's on the level of an MLK or, Malcolm and so on. I'm just saying that the people who are vulnerable, because they are more visible, they should have more protection. And he should always have a group of men, protecting him everywhere he goes, not because he's afraid. Sorry.
Hey,
Go
Tanzan.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna ask
Okay.
you. So you're saying like Mike Tyson should hire some people to slap some people sometimes, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Keep going what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No. That's, you cut right to it. That's exactly what he should do. So that, when people come to him, it's not going to be, who did that? The rappers do that all the time. They sing all this gangster stuff, but when it comes to fights, they always have their bodyguards with them. But I think there was an incident with Puffy and his bodyguard, or they have Antia and his bodyguard, or they have their bodyguards take the fall for them. You can pay somebody off to do, oh man, I don't want to talk too much, but yeah. So when you get to a certain level, you have to have certain people around you, at all times, or just travel in first class all the time, or just avoid them. That's the only thing I would say. Just always have a buffer between you and the public if you're a public figure. So, the guy obviously provoked him, and it had been going on for a while, and I think they just let it happen so that they could see it happening. I think everybody there was enjoying the show, including the airline people. It's a trap, and unfortunately he fell into it. But he should always have somebody ahead of him to to clear the grass and so on. When it comes to that story about that Alabama was just so sad. I could not believe that an elderly woman that she's trying to just live in peace for the rest of her days, and this is the literal shit she's dealing with. And I don't cuss. This is not cussing. This is actually saying it. What it is. How I don't know what to say about that. That one just I couldn't imagine that, not just in this time, but in this place. These are third world, these are beyond third world problems. Like, even the third world has managed to sort of get up to a level. This shows you the level of utter contempt that the people at the top have for anyway, let me move on from that one. That one just
Hey, Tanzan, before you go to the next one, let me ask you, do you have like any ideas? I haven't really had any good ideas about what we could do, but do you have any ideas what we could do, like to not let that happen, or help or something?
For me, the only thing I would think is just individual help, but not, something for the community, just to relocate them away from there, to take out the children and the elderly and move them somewhere a little bit, better with systems. And then the people who stay behind, then they do the bureaucracy, the politics, and all that legal stuff. But in the meantime, you can't really have children and the elderly and the sick living in conditions like that. One in three adults have who oh man, this just sounds like some really like some fiction dystopian movie from like, it doesn't even, I know it's real, but it doesn't sound real to me. It doesn't seem like this is something that could still happen, but it shouldn't be so shocking, because there was Flint, and you said it wasn't just Flint, that there was a whole bunch of other cities, that it wasn't just the one. So it shocks, and then it reminds you that you just absorb the shock. Let me just say that it's just becomes part of the whole shocking system.
I think it's like 40 cities or something like that. That's like maybe worse than Flint or just as bad.
Oh, man.
and it's majority black cities, like the cities that black people live in.
Well, so my idea wouldn't even work, because if it's moving, where are you going to move to? If 39 other places are just as bad as yours. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. And yo, I'm gonna show it one more time. Did you see that last video I just showed, Tanzan?
Yeah.
I gotta show it again because I shouldn't have showed that yet. I gotta show it again, but
Flags and monuments are removed.
look at this, Tanzan. The dog ate it first, Tanzan. Look at this. And she forced it in his face. And look how he jumped back. Like, just look at his body language. Look how he jumped back. He didn't want to do that. And look at her face. Now, I wanted to show you this face. Remember this face. I'm going to blow it up. Remember this face right here.
That's the get out face.
Yo, and his face is the same as the get out face too. Except for
That's like a recreation of that whole movie. And she sort of looks like that chick a little bit.
Yo, all they just couldn't put the watermelon in to get out because it'd be too obvious.
Yeah. That's the get out fantasy. Just like there was a guy recently who was talking about how he likes to play that whole, runaway slave fantasy thing. It's the sickness. It's in every one of us. Unfortunately, this is just the worst manifestation of it. But
yeah, and let me show you.
To some extent, we all want a bit of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought it had went out for a minute. I thought you stopped. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No. I was just saying that. This is the worst aspect of it. You become a slave so long, you start to like it.
Yeah. And look at her. I kept telling y'all, look at her face and look at how
so
hard
giddy. She is so happy, just on whatever cloud they go on.
They're probably on cloud 12.
Or some other depth of hell.
Now look at this little one. It's blurry. Now you know what this is, right, Tanzan?
Yes, I know. There was a story by this South African, he's called J.M. Katsiye, and he wrote a story about this black man who was being on the ground, his head on the ground, and he was being executed very brutally. And then this little white girl leaned over, and in the book it says it was like the best thing she ever saw in her young life or something like that. When people think about this is what amuses me a little bit about the so-called talk black sleep white sort of fellows, that you can separate a white woman from a white man. What gives you the right to do that? How can you say that one person is terrible and all that, but the other person, his partner, his other half, is just a sweet and innocent little angel? Like, and if she's such an angel, why would she be in bed with this terrible devil? Like, you worship the woman, but you want to decry the man as if they're two separate people. They are one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But not only that, Tanzan, they may be worse. I can't say they worse. I can't say which one is worse, but they are just as bad, if not worse. And you give them a pass. And some people even say that these people can give birth to black people. Which I totally disagree with. You know what I'm saying? But just look at her face. If it's not the same as her face, like look at the cheekbones. She just got more teeth showing than this little girl. She just got it covered up. And let me tell you this, because people don't realize, like, in all of those riots, it was a lot of white women, white bitches, I'm sorry. And I don't mean to say bitches while you on here, Tanzan, but I call them that because people have no problem disrespecting white women. And if you can't call this little white bitch a little white bitch, then there's something wrong with you, with her face looking at him. You know what I'm saying? For me, you know, and they were responsible. It was a white bitch named Rebecca Latimer Felton who was supposedly the original feminist, and she said it was white men's responsibility to protect white women by hanging and or lynching more black men than they are doing, and they are putting white women at risk by not lynching more black men. And if you actually read a lot of the race riots, it was the white women who were calling for the deaths most of all. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Rosewood. I'm not sure. It was so many of them. It was like hundreds and hundreds of them. I think it was Rosewood. It was a white bitch pointing out which houses to burn down, which ones was the black people. You know what I'm saying? During slavery, it was them who were not only raping black men, and the way they treated black women because of their jealousy and hatred. Because the irony is, like, they made it illegal for black women to even have soap or to keep their hair right, you know what I'm saying, or to have clean clothes. It was illegal for black women to be kept right, and white men still preferred black women, and white bitches hated it, and they treated black women worse than anybody. And the way they treated black children was disgusting. You know what I'm saying? All of it, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say the Casual Killing Act, which a lot of people say the police go by, they said it was for white women because they was killing so many black children during slavery. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's definitely believable. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, as a black man, if a white woman had my child, then you know what I'm saying, that child would be strangled and put to death a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you can't escape your blackness. But yo, Tanzan, you want to say something?
Well, there's not much to say after you see scenes like this. It's just, you just look and you shake your head and you move on, because it doesn't end until somebody ends it. And it's obviously going on, and it's a shame. So, but, we're leaving this for the future people, so they won't think that, all of us just wanted to willingly be fed watermelons after a dog.
I'm sorry, I gotta play it one more time, Tanzan. And I agree with you, Erica, because Erica said it's his own fault, and I agree 100%. It's his own fault. I'm just saying that's just the physical manifestation of what we look like when we don't control our own sewage systems. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard to see it when there's the manifestation looking like this. But as a black man, Tanzan, I gotta apologize. And I'm not even one that be like, yo, I gotta apologize for all men everywhere. I disagree with that kind of stuff, but I gotta apologize for this dude. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, that's her TikTok, y'all, Gracie. So Tanzan, who you think get better treatment in that relationship, the dog or the black man?
Oh, of course, the dog. If he ever lays hands on that dog, I fear what will happen to him.
Oh, he going to jail, if not worse. Yeah. But yeah, Tanzan, I'm about to get off of here. It's been like 2 hours, but yeah, take your time and say everything you want to say. And by the way, Tanzan, you got the Fanbase app too, so y'all follow Tanzan. We've been on there the last couple of days, Tanzan.
Yes, I'm sorry I missed that. I hope you guys are going on tonight.
I don't know. I think they all sleep, so I don't know.
Oh,
I think I took too long on here.
We're
though.
now on. When everyone's up, I'm down. When I'm up, everyone's down. All right. Well, at least I caught you a little bit. Thank you for letting me come in for a while. And it's always enlightening. It's always, it's sad. It's depressing. But at the same time, we have to look at reality in order to even, resist it, because this is what we have to do. We have to resist it. We can't pretend it doesn't exist. We can't live in, some happy la la land up in the clouds or down in the depths. It's what it is, and we have to do what we have to do. So thank you for bringing the information, and yeah, thank you.
No, yeah, thank you for coming on, Tanzan. I appreciate it. And by the way, I'm gonna say this now. I'm gonna go make a fan base room tomorrow night at 9 o'clock my time, which is East Coast time. I think you're on the West Coast, Tanzan, which would be 6 o'clock your time. So
6 in the morning?
no, in the evening.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so around that time, look for a room. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it yet, but I'm gonna send you an invite, and I got your email. So, and by the way, Tanzan and everybody, yeah, go ahead, Tanzan.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and set up the next meeting for us this weekend, this Saturday. Well, I guess I should get a good time for everybody, but I'm gonna say right now, I'm gonna say this Saturday in the afternoon, we're gonna set up the next meeting, and it's gonna be a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna I guess get into some more stuff, you know what I'm saying? So everybody who want to be involved, y'all take my email. It's in the description. I'll put it in the chat real quick. So I definitely want you to come on, Tanzan.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
definitely. I'll mark it.
yeah, so we're gonna set that up. Raw, yeah, fan base doesn't even give me. I don't get no notifications either. The only way I know is when somebody let me know they live. They got a lot of kinks to work out, but like I said, like that's how YouTube was. Well, YouTube don't send out my notifications now, and they block me anyway. But my time is I'm on the East Coast, so it's gonna be 9 o'clock. I'm not sure where you are. I think where you are, Raw, is gonna be 7 o'clock. On the fan base app. And I got your email too, Raw. So I'm gonna email you too, and I'm gonna email everybody. And Raw, if you want to be a part of the the meeting or whatever. And like I said, everybody show their face, and it's only because we don't want no trolls for stuff like this, because we talking about serious issues. And hopefully we're gonna have it more it's gonna be more organized, and we'll have more time to discuss more issues. So make sure y'all email me. Make sure y'all go to my backup channel just in case I get another strike for the video I just uploaded. But I appreciate everybody for watching. Everybody who came through. Dwayne, Bakari, of course Tanzan, my good sister. I'm glad when you always come through. Jose, I'm glad you came through. Raw, of course, all day. That's my sister. Erica, that's my sister. Y'all follow Erica on fan base too. Edward Thompson. Thank all of y'all for listening and coming through. I appreciate all of y'all support for real, man. So I'm gonna try to get more. I'm gonna try to get back into the groove and make more lives on both of these things. And matter of fact, especially for the people who not on fan base, we're gonna start doing lives on here, but while we on fan base, But Tanzan, you got anything else to say?
No, just peace and blessings, and we'll see you on fan base.
Yep, we'll see you on fan base, man. We're gonna put this Polish shyster bitch out of business. But thank all of y'all, and as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.